Hey there, history buffs and curious cats. Welcome to a journey through time and tales. Ever heard of a little slice of Americana called Wallace, Idaho? If not, you're in for a treat. Nestled in the mountains of the Silver Valley, this town's got a past that's wilder than a rodeo clown on roller skates. Imagine a place where every corner whispers secrets of the past. We're talking silver fortunes, fiery disasters, and enough grit to shame a sandpaper factory. The mines here weren't just holes in the ground, they were lifelines, dreams, and sometimes nightmares. Now I've crawled through sewer pipes and wrestled alligators for a living. So believe me when I say history ain't just dusty textbooks and boring lectures. It's an adventure waiting to be uncovered. It's about real people in real places doing things that'll make your jaw drop. Picture miners working tirelessly, families building their lives, and communities coming together in times of need. And trust me, Wallace, Idaho's got stories for days, from the bustling streets to the quiet corners. Every inch of this town has a tale to tell. Why should we care about places like this? Because they are the heartbeats of our nation, the unsung heroes of our history, because they remind us that America was built by folks who weren't afraid of hard work, who took risks, and who rebuilt when life threw them a curveball. These are the stories of resilience, determination, and hope. So buckle up, grab a beverage, and get ready to dig into the wild, wonderful, and slightly singed history of Wallace, Idaho. This is more than just a history lesson. It's a celebration of the human spirit. If you enjoyed this dive into history, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories. Your support helps us keep these tales alive. Our story starts in the late 1800s, a time when the American frontier was still wild and untamed, and the spirit of adventure was alive and well. Gold fever had swept the nation, drawing thousands to the west in search of fortune. But up in the rugged Idaho panhandle, a different kind of fever was brewing, silver fever. In 1884, prospectors struck it rich in what would become known as the Silver Valley. This discovery would change the course of history for the region. Word spread faster than a rumor in a small town, and soon folks were flocking to the area like moths to a porch light. The promise of silver drew people from all corners of the country. Among those eager beavers was Colonel William R. Wallace, a Civil War veteran with a name that screamed destiny. Wallace was a man of vision and ambition, ready to seize the opportunity. He saw the potential of this boomtown and decided to put down roots, literally. With determination and foresight, he began to lay the foundations of a new community. He planted a town and called it, you guessed it, Wallace. This town would become a hub of activity and a beacon for those seeking their fortunes. Miners poured in from all walks of life, eager to make their fortune. They came with dreams in their hearts and pickaxes in their hands, ready to face the challenges ahead. They blasted, they dug, they hauled, all in pursuit of that shiny silver treasure. The work was grueling and dangerous, but the promise of wealth kept them going. The mountains echoed with the clang of pickaxes and the rumble of ore carts, a symphony of sweat, ambition, and the hope of striking it rich. The Silver Rush was more than just a quest for wealth. It was a testament to the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of dreams. Now, where there's silver, there's bound to be some shenanigans. The lure of precious metal brought all sorts of characters to the area, each with their own dreams and schemes. Wallace, in its heyday, was a Wild West town in every sense of the word. The streets were bustling with activity, and the air was thick with the promise of opportunity and adventure. Saloons overflowed with thirsty miners who sought to quench their thirst and forget the hardships of their daily grind. These establishments were more than just places to drink. They were social hubs where deals were made and stories were shared. Gambling halls buzzed with activity as men risked their hard-earned silver on games of chance. The thrill of winning and the agony of losing were ever present, adding to the town's electrifying atmosphere. The streets were alive with a motley crew of prospectors, businessmen, and those who operated on the shadier side of the law. Each person added to the rich tapestry of life in Wallace, making it a place of endless stories and intrigue. But it wasn't all fun and games. Beneath the surface, the miners worked tough, dangerous jobs, often risking life and limb in the pursuit of silver. The mines were unforgiving and the work was grueling. The miners worked tough, dangerous jobs, and they weren't afraid to fight for their rights. Labor disputes were common as the men demanded better conditions and fair pay for their perilous work. Labor disputes were common, and they weren't afraid to fight for their rights. In 1892, tensions boiled over into a full-blown labor war. The conflict was a stark reminder of the human cost of the mining industry. In 1892, tensions boiled over into a full-blown labor war. The mountains shook with more than just dynamite as miners clashed with company guards. The air was thick with the sound of gunfire and the cries of men fighting for their livelihoods. The mountains shook with more than just dynamite as miners clashed with company guards. It was a stark reminder that the pursuit of fortune often came at a steep human cost. The conflict left scars on the community that would be felt for years to come. It was a stark reminder that the pursuit of fortune often came at a steep human cost. Despite the hardships, the miners' resilience and determination were unwavering. They continued to work, fight, and dream of a better future. Despite the rough edges, Wallace was a town on the rise. The wealth generated by the silver mines led to rapid development and growth. New buildings sprang up and the town began to take on a more refined appearance. Grand buildings sprouted up, showcasing the wealth that silver brought. These structures were a testament to the prosperity of the town and the ambitions of its residents. Opera houses, hotels, and even a red light district added to the town's colorful tapestry. These establishments catered to the diverse needs and desires of the population, making Wallace a vibrant and dynamic place to live. And even a red light district added to the town's colorful tapestry. It was a place where fortunes were made and lost, dreams were chased, and history was written in sweat, silver, and sometimes blood. It was a place where fortunes were made and lost, dreams were chased, and history was written in sweat, silver, and sometimes blood. The legacy of Wallace's wild years lives on, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to dream big. And history was written in sweat, silver, and sometimes blood. The story of Wallace is a tale of resilience, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of fortune. It's a chapter in the larger narrative of the American West, where the promise of prosperity drew people from all walks of life to the rugged frontier. Section 4, Trial by Fire, the Great Inferno of 1910, August 1910. A scorching summer day took a turn for the worse in Wallace. A fire sparked by a careless camper miles away roared through the surrounding forest, fueled by dry timber and strong winds. It swept down the mountainsides towards the unsuspecting town. Imagine the terror as the inferno closed in, a wall of flames consuming everything in its path. The firestorm engulfed Wallace, turning buildings into smoldering skeletons. The heat was so intense that it melted metal and turned bricks to dust. It's a miracle anyone escaped that inferno, but escape they did. The residents of Wallace, hardened by years of toil and hardship, showed remarkable resilience. They poured out of the town seeking refuge in nearby communities. When the smoke cleared, Wallace was a smoldering ruin. The fire had claimed over 200 buildings, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Section 5, Highway Robbery, not so fast. Fast forward to the mid-20th century. America was in a frenzy of road construction, connecting the nation with its vast network of highways. One such highway, Interstate 90, was slated to cut right through the heart of Wallace. Now, most towns would have rolled out the welcome mat for a major interstate, but not Wallace. They'd rebuilt their town once, brick by brick, after the fire, and they weren't about to let a highway plow through their history. They dug in their heels, refusing to let progress bulldoze their heritage. The fight was on. Wallace's residents, a feisty bunch with a healthy dose of stubbornness, took on the federal government in a David and Goliath battle that would last for years. They lobbied, they protested, they even threatened to chain themselves to buildings. Finally, in a victory for small-town spirit, Wallace found a way to win. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey through the wild history of Silver Valley and Wallace, Idaho.